Good morning, everybody. Working here in Character Creator right now, and about to switch over here to Zbrush. Let me just flop my screen over. Don't know if that's the right word, because it seemed kind of weird to say. Let me just swap out my OBS here. And yeah, now we're here in ZBrush working on a character. I've been sculpting on her face a little bit this morning and just trying to get stuff a little more dialed in. Bigger, areas as far as wrinkles go, that kind of stuff. She is a very snobbish character, and that's for this film of mine named Seven Mansions. It's an animated feature-length film that I'm creating, and it's all, real animation and all of that. None of the AI created ones. I don't have anything against AI necessarily, but this is not that, is what I'm trying to say. People can do what they want, can like what you want, dislike what you want. But this is art is how I look at it, and that's what I'm making here. And it's a family film. Don't worry, this is not a discussion about AI or not, but it's actually a family fantasy film about a little orphan girl and some really crabby rich people. Crabby, crappy, however you want to think about it. Bring this back up just a little bit there. I think overall that is a good base. I'm going to have to start throwing on some more skin texture on the rest of the head though, so I'm going to go over here and look for a brush or three. Some of my skin brushes. I'm just going to grab a standard overall kind of sweeping skin texture. There's really a pretty good directional one that I like to use in here. We'll see how that works. If you are watching, though, say hello. I got a chat up that I am trying to pay attention to today. Okay. I'm going to just kind of subdivide this up a little and see. There's no skin texture along these areas, and there really needs to be. And this is just the base expression. We're going to bring in some expressions here in a second. You see, this really just adds a nice natural vibe here. Because without it, it's pretty smooth. And I know that's a stylized character, but I don't want her plastic. It's not Toy Story, but it's cool because it's there's a lot more high detail I need to put in there. But it's cool because it does have a lot of detail and stuff to it. And even though it is stylized. If you guys are watching this and have some questions, let me know. If you're watching this later, then go to hell. No, I mean, yeah, just that's cool. And yeah, but feel free to ask me some questions or to comment. I try to say be kind, because the world doesn't need more jerks in it. I've been dealing with too many of them lately myself, so take it easy on me a little bit. And I tell you what, man, they're out in full force. That's for sure. I'm going to take a look here and see. I guess that's all okay. And now I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. It's going to take longer, but it's going to have a finer sort of grain to it now. And I'm just going to sort of blow this through here like airbrushing, just to get that in a general layout or layover or whatever we can say about it. None of that will show because that's all under the hair, so I shouldn't even be worried about that. And let's see, I think she's looking pretty good overall. She looks like somebody, and I can't figure out who it is, so if you guys, you know, happen to know or think of it, or let me know. She looks like somebody, and not just the character that she actually is. Alright, so I'm going to probably, well, let me go back into there. There might be one that I want to use there. It's a wrinkle pusher. Let's see, back into brushes. I was going to go into these heavier wrinkles, but I think I'm going to go this wrinkle texture real quick and just see. I'm trying to find create some finer wrinkles to sort of increase the resolution overall of this of the character when we are closer up, because she's pretty you know, high res, I guess, but this needs to all be put in the normal map, which I'm doing right now. And I don't want to overdo this, but you know, I just need some of this happening. Otherwise it will be a little too smooth, slick, and so on. Need some good stuff in the eyelids here. I'm going to go back and put some larger ones in there, but this is just some real seriously fine detailed kind of stuff. Probably a little too harsh in some of those, like that. So I'm going to turn the intensity down and the size up a little now. See if we can move the intensity back up just slightly. Just trying to throw in some of these hair wrinkles here. The finer detailed stuff, that's looking pretty good. She reminds me of Gus from Breaking Bad, which is a weird thing to say. Those eyes are kind of the same, if you notice. I could see him speaking right out of her face. And I think in this regard, that's, you know, in this way that we're looking at her in the clay here, that's who she looks like. That's probably who I'm thinking she looks like. Okay, let's go even bigger with these. Because even though she is kind of a diva, she's aged quite a bit over the years. And is hiding this with makeup and everything else, as some people need to, or do, or decide to. Need to? I don't know if that was the best way to say that, but you know what I'm saying. I'm going to go back in here to this particular creature skin brush that I have. I use it a lot for kind of heavier, thicker wrinkles. Love this thing. And that's too much, but you get the idea here. I'm going to turn the intensity down, maybe the size a bit. You can really kind of throw in some good like neck wrinklage just by brushing through here. I'm trying not to be overly symmetrical, even though some of this needs to be. I'll turn that symmetry off in a bit. Maybe the intensity, and then we'll adjust the size. It's a real fine balance. Let's go up to 6, try that. There we go. Yeah, that age thing, it's like you can cover it up all you want, but it really does show in the neck and the hands. So, all you ladies watching who may be concerned about that, or dudes, you know, I don't want to be picking on a certain demographic, but started listening again to Rusted Root yesterday. I thought that was kind of strange. I haven't thought about them in years. Came across a couple of videos and was like, oh yeah, I guess I still like them. I mean, it's not like they did anything wrong. Okay, I think that's going to be good. Like I said, I don't want to overdo it. It's pretty done, overdone as it is. But let's just kind of leave it there. Now I've got to go through and work my expressions. So we're just going to go through and find our face tools there. I'm going to grab this panel, dock it over to the side here. And I'm going to want the updating of the eyes and the mouth and tongue. So when she opens her mouth and stuff, you know, it's going to show how that's going to be. So I'm going to set that there. And if we turn on the diffuse, we'll see the color. It's not necessary, but you get the idea there. And if we were to do that, I would throw this like on a skin shader so we can see more of this kind of thing. I'm also going to turn off the eyelashes for now. And I don't want to mess those up. I really don't. So they call them eye winkers in here, which I find hilarious. Cool. So we're just working with the head here. And let's check out the brow raised. Morph here. The second this comes up. So we're sculpting this expression by expression. So, and I think I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis on the forehead wrinkles here. And I don't want to do that necessarily at the highest resolution here. So I'm going to bring that down to about maybe a 2, something like that. And let's refine her because somehow I turned my camera there. All right, so right here, I'm just going to come in maybe with that wrinkle brush again. Let's see. Bring these up a little more in the resolution here. Maybe larger. A little bit more intense, not a lot. That's too much for sure. I think that's okay. Kind of gives her a what? You know, kind of feel. We could make the thing bigger, the actual brush. I have to go into my preferences here and on draw. We'll just bring this up super high for the max size. And that way we can go as big as we want. So that's pretty much just worrying about that particular, the brows. So let's go with squint now. In fact, let me go back to this brow raise because I don't have this on the full division here, and I really want to see what that's going to be like. So that looks pretty good. You wait for it to settle out and knock that up to highest detail. Yeah, that still works really well. Let me know if you like what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing, and that's what matters. Just waiting for the squint to come in. There we go. I think we want to make that a bit stronger. So let's knock that down to about 4 or 3. We are using X symmetry. And I'm going to go in here and grab my move brush. Looks good. And then I'm going to come in and throw in some more wrinkles on that now. So let's just grab our wrinkle brush again we were using, which would be, oh, come on now, would be this guy. Let's make those smaller, maybe less intense, depending. And it looks okay. Mouth pucker. This one I got to be careful of because these are some beautiful wrinkles on here already I've got. I don't want to mess those up. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Now I know the shape, like the main shape of it could be more exaggerated. So we're going to pull this all the way down as far as the detail goes and only affect the sculpture, not the detail. So I'm just going to mask the mouth out pretty good there, like so. We're going to switch it. And then with our move tool, I'm probably going to want to go and blur that out, but we'll see. I think that was working pretty good. And let's see it with the full detail. I think that works. Try the chin up. This one doesn't get a lot of reaction. Yeah, because it's just the chin. Should we just leave it like so? I'm going to pull it up slightly more. Maybe like that. So now it's going to have just a bit more going on. And I also think wrinkle-wise, that could be a little more cut in there. So if we turn that off now, you'll see the difference. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We'll try it again from the side. It's pretty good. Gets kind of weirdly bumpy, I'm noticing. So I'm going to, well, I'm going to take my smooth brush in here just a little bit and just sort of tap around some of these more extreme spots. I don't think there's a reason for all those horrible bumps. Let's see, we can, whoops, that's a little large. We can come in here, turn this stuff kind of back, and add a little more crumple there with those wrinkles like so. Kind of take the place of the micro wrinkles we just took out. And then I'm going to turn that off so we can see what it looks like with the chin not up. And back to chin up one more time. I mean, that works. Okay, we'll turn that off. And now eye blink. I did correct these prior to a degree over in Character Creator. So I'm going to go with the eye blink. And hopefully these will be completely closed. They were over there. And it looks like they are. So that's good. It's all we need. I don't need to touch those in any other way. So happy about that. Let's do the jaw open. This is going to be the biggest expression. So this will have like probably the most wrinklage or whatever if she yells. And that to me is okay, but it's a bit boring. I mean, it's just the jaw open. It's not like an actual, you know, expression, but I think I'm going to come in here just from like maybe level 2 or 3. Give this a little more depth here to this crease. Of course, autosave, my favorite thing in the world, right in the middle of working. I mean, I'm glad it exists, but it's highly, you'd think they would figure out a way to do that in the background by now. Okay, I think that's okay. This is our brows dropping now. As soon as they catch up, I'm going to want to make them puff out a bit and have those harder wrinkles. I guess I have to click the button, don't I? So they'll just drop down right through there. See, they look good, but they're just not enough. And then we got this weird penetration happening here of the eyelid, which we are not going to have. So I'm going to grab my move tool here and hopefully only grab what I'm wanting to. Let me just make this a little larger. Yeah, see, that's going to grab that. So I'll take care of that somewhat. Not extremely well, but... And then now, brow down, we are on level 4. I am going to go to like level 2 or 1, so I can literally punch up the scowling points here. I'm thinking actually pulling them down a little bit more as well. So these expressions, you want to make sure you isolate the individual parts a bit, because you can't just go around willy-nilly making a new expression, you know what I'm saying? So let's go back up, see what that looks like. I think that's okay. It's a good scowl. I think that coming down to 2 or 3 and giving her an actual crease in there, because I'm not seeing that as well as I'd like. So it's my damn standard, or Damien's standard, or there's kids watching. It's a silly joke, don't mind me. Unless you use Zbrush, it makes no sense. Okay, so take the brows drop back off, see what it looks like. It's pretty good. Nose sneer, and it's just going to be pretty much the sides and top of the nose pulling up. It's going to pull a little bit of the eyes, and that's definitely not extreme enough for me. So we're going to pull this down back like on a 1 or 2. I am going to mask the parts I want to move. And you're like, well, why would you mask the ones you want to move? So I can flip them like that. And then I smooth it a bit. And now I'm going to inflate slightly here. And we're going to move slightly as well. A little bit bigger. I don't know what I was doing there. It says move, but it doesn't feel like a move. Let's look back at the high res. We need some serious wrinklage happening, in my opinion, right about there. Just going to come back with the damn standard. We'll go into the high end, make this a little smaller, really get some sneerage happening there. You can get this super detailed or whatever you like at this point, you know. And giving it some extra detailed wrinkles. And let's get the mask off, kind of see what it looks like without now. Yeah, I think that works. Let's just go back and look at it again while it's on. The transition. Yeah, that's working. Let me know what you guys think. Let's go with a mouth frown now. It's going to be a pretty big movement. It's important here. They're all important, but you know, this one's going to be needing to be relatively extreme. So I'm going to move this up. Forgot to push my button again. See that? It's not extreme enough. Not for us. She needs to be like full on disapproval. And let's go back into our level 1 because this is a pretty oops, major move here. We're just going to grab the move tool. Make sure it's the right tool, you know. It's always important. She's going to be like, "You've got to be kidding me." I think not. I think not. I don't know why I'm doing that way, but see, at about 3. I'm going to throw in some better wrinkles here. A little more extreme bend there. I mean, she needs to pretty much be disgusted, I think, at this point. just lightly going in and adding these larger, rounder shapes. Pull this down to about 3 and inflate these little pockets that were already inflated, but these need to be a bit more juicy. That is too juicy. So maybe an overall larger, but a lot less intense. Just to puff that up. Seems to be your way your mom looks at you when she, just the mouth, you know, and she's like, ugh, you leave your socks somewhere. I think that bottom lip needs to move down too. Let's see. That's okay, I suppose. Okay, so now the neck tighten. This is just the neck, edge of the jaw. You know, if she flexes her head or makes a extreme, you know, gritting the teeth or something. Yeah, in this neighborhood, you never know. All right, so let's go ahead and knock that down to about 3. I'm just gonna puff up some of these, whoops, muscles here, a little less than that. A little smaller as well, just through some of these areas, like a tendon is tightened. Okay, so now the smile. She doesn't look like she smiles a lot, so it's like, yes, well, you know, I think, though, that this can do better. I mean, she might smile big because she's faking it, you know, or something. I think that works. An actual smile in here. So I'm doing major things to move. And then I'll go in with a more refined brush. Kind of smooth and move like that. Let's see, a little bit of inflating just on some key spots where it puffs up the roll of the flesh there. The roll of the flesh. I'm going to go into the high level detail and just make sure stuff's going the way we want. I'm going to throw in an extra couple of deeper spots just to enhance this. I'm going to go back in with that wrinkle brush now. Give us some natural stuff happening in some of these areas that could be a little grosser. That's way too intense. Due to the crumpled nature of the skin in those areas. I think I'm going to take out some of that. It's nice, you can go back in and pull off detail from underneath. It's a little less intense now on the top. Yeah, that's better. Works for me. Now the cheek raise is just going to be that area pulling upward. And it works kind of like the squint, but this enhances the squint, so not seeing a lot of it happening. So what I'm going to do is just come in here back to our one level pull. Oops, I don't want that. I want the move brush. And I'm also going to inflate them slightly so that they're not flattening out as they lift up. I think I moved my eyelids there, which I did not want to do. Now the brows up compress. Kind of like the sad eyebrows, I guess. Which she's going to have those a lot. But I'm going to increase it, of course. because that's what I do. We're just going to grab that and move. That was a lot more extreme, I suppose. And push together. And when I go up somewhat in the detail now, we'll start creating our custom wrinklage here. Custom wrinklage. It sounds like a body shop or something. Wait for the autosave. I have horrible allergies, so my eyes are red, puffy, and crying like constantly. That has been nothing but annoying. Just get this maybe a bit more intense here. Try and smooth that guy out just a little bit. I'm going to puff the eyebrow out slightly as well. Since the muscle in them is flexing. And I'm trying to go extreme on these. I keep feeling like I'm kind of holding back, which in this kind of stuff you want to make it extreme. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So now, with that, I'm going to just check the eye blink one more time. Because with all these movements, I want to make sure, you know, things still work. Looks good to me. So now we're just going to go here and update the character creator. It'll take about 5 minutes to kick that over. I have to accept like about 3 things here. Teeth morphs. Okay, this thing too. So this just lets us update everything at the resolution that we want. So all that looks good. We're just going to say update to character creator. Kapow. And it's going to take its sweet time, ask me a couple of questions. Yep, sounds good. Yep, sounds good. And I think one more. And then it's going to go. And then we'll hop on back to character creator once it's got everything pushed out and lets me know in character creator that it needs me to accept it. So it's just running through all of the changes we've made, kind of like recording them, printing them, embedding them, baking them, like breading them. I have no idea what that meant. I was just rhyming it. Yeah, that's not the way the teeth will be, obviously. And then I've got to figure out a hair issue, because what I need to do is create hair for her that does not exist and that I do not have. And I'm not a big hair maker, so I need to make her this really huge kind of beehive Marie Antoinette hair. No idea how I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to probably start with is just the main shape like a sculpted shape for it. And maybe grow either hair from, you know, what do you call it? Particle hair or something. Or make hair cards. I don't know. Hair cards would work the best as far as ease of use and ease on the machine. But we shall see. Let's go over here to Character Creator. I'm going to go ahead and swap my screens out here with you guys. Looks like it's still doing some updating on my eyes. All that. But I'm going to go ahead and swap over. So you guys are going to see this just for a second until I change my screen. There we go. We're going to wait for the message here in Zbrush to say, hey dude, I'm not Zbrush, but in Character Creator, to say, hey, we're done. So go ahead and we'll send it over. Sorry about all those icons. I know, you're going to say something, but now I'm going through stuff and changing stuff out, organizing. Aren't we all? Like, all the time. You'll see a lot of my icons. Well, don't go back and look, but they say things like crap, crap 1, crap 2, stuff, things. Yeah. I think we're all guilty of that. I used to think it was only me. Then I saw a bunch of memes about it, and I was like, aha, we all suck, not just me. Alright, so I guess that has been created. Now over here in Character Creator, we get these messages popping up. Yep, we're going to update all that stuff. It's going to do the update for us here. Then I'll have to go in and like make sure the wrinkles are turned on, and the eye element does that auto fix on the eye element. We have to check that out. It's for like the occlusion. So the eye occlusion. But these characters are going to be cool. And I think I might sell them, depending upon what we do with the movie. I won't be able to, depending. But, and I hope I can't, because the movie is just, you know, popular, picked up, bought, somebody owns it, or tells me not to sell it. But I'm thinking about selling the base characters at least. Not the characters from the movie, but the base figures as some of my old people. Because what I'm doing with the meshes, the figures themselves, is going to be totally applicable for everything else. You know, I'll just change the makeups out, change the skin tones, some of the wrinkling, definitely the clothes. Most people never know where they came from. So here we go, almost. It's adjusting the eye occlusion. Speaking of, my eye felt occluded. I cut my hair this morning. Yes, I cut my own hair. And you can probably tell. Yeah, so got hairs on my face. Hopefully you can't tell. Only slightly embarrassing when that's the case. So it's loading the rest of her up. Almost done. Character Creator's been moving a little slow lately. I don't know why. It's just me, my machine, or what, but yeah, I'm worried to have some big long patches in my hair in places I can't see. I'll have to grab a mirror. I cut it all without a mirror too, you know. Why bother? No one's gonna see it. Except for you lucky people. Okay, we're almost done. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've got a few characters I'm working on, not just for Seven Mansions, but for a few things. For selling, like this one really dark, evil character. It's real tall and lanky with a long neck. Kind of looks like her, only way, way, way worse. It's like a sort of a hell denizen kind of character. No idea exactly what. Kind of a demon, kind of. Maybe it like goes into bad dreams or something, or causes them. That's what it seems like. It's way too bright in here for me, by the way. And I'm sitting all up against the camera. You guys are like, dang, dude, back up. I know, right? I know, huh? All right. So let's, once this fixes, it's almost done here. It's just setting the normals. I'm going to jump to her face. And almost. And of course, we'll have to save her off into the library again to make sure that's all good to go before I do anything else to her. I'm just waiting for this little wheel, the spinning wheel of doom, death, destruction. And then we can look at her, and that looks pretty good. The update, I think, it's a good one. And now we can go in here and check our motion. I'm just going to go and check the, well, let's check the facial rig, full face first. This is subtle movement and stuff. And then we'll go in and check the big expressive wrinkles. I want to make sure they're all turned on as well. So I'm going to dance naked. No, I'm kidding. So I'm going to check the switch over here for the wrinkles. The dynamic wrinkles. It says they're on. Something looks a bit less all of a sudden on here, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I'm also going to adjust my lighting real quick. So in the scene here, just want to make sure that the lights, I don't typically like this directional light on. And I do like to up the backlight. I'm going to turn that one on, and the key light, I'm going to move that one. So the backlight, let's go ahead and modify it by turning it a lot higher. Not the key light. Well, the key light's maybe a little bit, but it's this one I wanted mostly. Turn this guy up a lot to give us some like cross lighting, you know what I mean? And then this one I'm going to move forward and rotate it back to give us kind of a reverse key light. It already is a bit of a reverse key light, but I like to be a little more frontal-ish or side-oriented about it. Also, this directional in general looks just too bright. So let's go back to our lighting in our scene. I'm going to say directional light. That one is off. Key back fill. Let's try the fill off as well. I'll give her a nice kind of feel. I'm not sure yet though. Let's just check this out. She looks a little slick to me, but I don't know why that does not seem as extreme as I made it. I don't know why. I'm gonna move this side light over just a little more. Gosh, that scared me. Let's see. Yeah, she doesn't seem as intense as I expect. So let's find out. I'm gonna click on her, and her wrinkles are on. And then we're going to check on the textures. I'm just going to go onto the head And see if we can turn up the normal a bit. That was definitely some of it, so I'm going to leave that about right there. And let's now check her with the dramatic facial wrinkle check here. I think part of me just got used to looking, at her don't know what's going on with Zbrush. Okay, so let's just see what's going on now. Not really liking the nasolabial area. That's a little... But I think once her hair is on, it will be better. I'm also just going for the moment, giving her some temporary hair. It won't be nothing like the hair will be in the end, but why not just see her with some hair on? So what I've got here for some of the custom stuff. I have nothing large, unfortunately, but we can at least just drop like this base on there to where it covers up the baldness. Nothing wrong with bald people, just saying. Gives her a lot more better framing to see what's going on with her face. I think I like that very much. She can be nasty. Let's try to pull this up just a little bit to give her more of a Rembrandt-esque what was that? Kind of lighting here just for testing. Obviously, none of this is going to be kept as far as any animations or anything are concerned. So you can get that Rembrandt type triangle on the shadow by putting your lights exactly where I just put those. And probably turning the intensity down a little bit on that front one. So let's just go to our modify for it. Let me make sure we are selecting it. Not sure why we're still on those textures, but hey, we'll just knock down the multiplier here a little bit, and got a little more. Increase that darkness a bit more. That's good. I think that's working. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Not sure. I'm thinking about raising her upper teeth up a little bit too, and that looks like that lower lip tends to squish up It's like here, a little too far. Let's go back where her mouth was open, though. I'm going to take those upper teeth and push them a little higher, I think. We're going to test it, though. So I'm just going to type in teeth. Upper scale. Let's go with upper height. I don't mind them long, I just didn't want them that far. Let's see, let me find my mouth. Let's see if teeth are in there. Yup. Let's put space. Let me find depth. I don't know what they call that particular thing. And the filtrum depth, I think, also should be more. There we go. But anyway, the teeth, where are you at? Mouth. Don't think they're in this one. So I believe they are down here. Base. Teeth. Where's the other? Close some of these up. I can't see. Hair. Occlusion. Tear line. Okay, so that's top teeth length. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. There we go. And that's all of them, though. I kind of want just the gap to be in the middle, in the crooked's good, in that top middle. So I don't want to go with missing because she's very, what do you call it? Particular. Crooked is fine. Just curious. Give her play, see if anything's wrong with it. If you guys are watching, say hello. There's a chat. I encourage you to use it. Say hi. It's working pretty good. I think the lower lip is a bit tucked up during the expressions, though. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the smile, only because of those folds there. Got to find the depth of these. Pretty good. Okay, I like that. I swore, though, there was a gap in here somewhere, just so those upper teeth. I mean, you can recede gums. You think there would be like a upper gap. You can recede the individual teeth's gums. Central, that's below. Pull these open just to see if maybe I'm missing the name somewhere. All of the individual teeth, man, it's crazy. Length, width, movement of them. Lower, central, where are we at? Let's see. Canines. Yeah, need to mess with that. Absolutely amazing, all the control you can have. Chips. Because they're not able to take care of their teeth, of course, anymore. You know, I really swore there'd have been a gap between, that it would have had a gap just for the tops. I cannot find it. I can come back for it. I can come back. I mean, there's gaps, just not the one I'm looking for. That is okay. It was just a thought. I think overall that's quite good. She's gonna need earrings. She gets this big orange Marie Antoinette hair. It'd be a lot of fun. So this in no way does justice to our character. And then at some time today, I'll have to go and make her a dress. Her teeth are a little goofy, but I like that. Tops need to move back quite a bit. I wanted them out, but I'll have to go and adjust the lips if I do that. But let's just get the top teeth pushed back so she doesn't have the Billy Bob going on. And then we'll go adjust the facial profile, which will let me, pull that lower lip down, stuff like that, without having to go into ZBrush again if we don't want to. I'm also noticing my eyelashes in the bottom did not move up with the squint. Alright, so we'll go to facial profile. I'm going to remove all of our animation. So now we'll go and edit these. And I'll be able to kind of generally drag stuff around. So I'm going to check the eye blinks first, and I think those are perfect. Squint seems to be okay. It's got to do with that cheek raising. So eye wide, we're going to have to definitely go in and adjust that. Let's check the eye looks, making sure we're not going to penetrate the eyelids. So I like to do something like that and then blink at the same time and make sure it's not going to pop through. Those are a lot more, extreme motions. So we can dilate our pupils. We can contract the pupils. Those wiggle. Those wiggle. So everything looks good there. But then I know that when we do this, yeah, we need to adjust that that lower lash. As far as I can tell, that's because that eyelid moved. And I even said, I don't really want to move that eyelid. And I did it. So we just come into with that turned on. And I find the eyelid. Turn down our radius on it. And now I can see, where the point should be. Pretty much right there. Do the same thing for this side, like that. Go back to selecting that a little less. Pulling the center back down a little. Come out of there, back to our facial profile. editor and we save that current slider. That way nothing works. Cool. Never mind. Let's undo that, hopefully. Undo. Undo again. So that should work now. Yeah, there we go. Some of these you don't want to go and do the lightning bolt on them. So we'll do this one and we'll go in now and adjust it. Let's check that one out. Back in the editor. Much better. Check on some of these now. Make sure they don't flash teeth, which I don't think we've got any of that problem going on, which is nice. Yeah, those look good. Okay, looking good. That one could probably be a little better, but let's see. I think that's working overall. Just randomly checking some of these to see that they're not looking bad. Some of these are a little weak in my opinion, but this one could probably do with a little more oomph to it. That's okay. Let's see. Yeah, see, those could be more extreme for sure. I could take those in the ZBrush and do those individually, but looks pretty good. Good. That is way too much. Should work on that one. Jaw. Open. I'm going to check that mouth move again just to see if that is what it's wanting. Yeah, that's pretty good. So what is that, about 87? We'll update that as the full. So now when this is 100, of course we got our squint in there. So let me make sure these are not up, which it says they. So that works, but did I leave any of these up? Didn't realize it. Doesn't look like it. Possibly these. No, so what's the problem? Why would those be lifting that? I really don't know. I do not know. Cancel. Quick update. Maybe? Nope. Alright, well, I'll leave that for now. It's kind of a shame, but just really should have been able to pull the lips around, and I don't know why I can't get it to do it. So we're gonna keep going until I can. I'm gonna go back. So that looks good there, but I think I just undid it again. So 82. Now if I come back to the jaw and I close the jaw and I go back to the mouth move and I save this close at 82 as its extreme, that makes no sense. I mean, that definitely is where the problem is, but we'll just leave that as the ability to go to 100 because I need it to be able to close its mouth when the jaw is open more than I need that to be perfect. So this way that can do that. Works for me. Back to jaw, check the jaw, forward, backward, left, right. Yep. Now the neck, swallow up. Let's just move back and see if that's all good. I'm pretty sure it is. Fine. Down. Tighten left. Tighten right. Now the head turn up. And down. Perfect. left, right. So I'm just going through and checking all of these to make sure they don't have any issues. This will be the shift. Head left and right, forward. Kind of a Beetlejuice moment there. And backward. Okay, I think those expressions, for the moment anyway, cancel. What is still set? We gotta check. Those are all at 0. That sneer just should be a lot more. It's pretty good there, though. These all say... I'm going to go ahead and come back out. I'm going to say OK when it asks. And we're going to throw a motion on it. Let's do this one, then the dramatic right after. And see what happens. I think that works good. Let's try the dramatic, which will be too much for her, but still, it lets me see the extreme. I'm so tired. All right, let's see. Cool. All right. Well, with that, I think she's good to go. I'm gonna wind up doing some clothes for her. Old style dress, kind of turn of the century, a little later. Little 40s-esque probably style something. I think overall that is looking pretty good. Let's just give her a walk real quick to test, and I'll save her. Yeah, that's very good. Funny, funny. All right, cool. That's that. Let's stick her in our content folder And that'll be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I've got a lot of stuff going on coming up. Some produced videos, some shorts, all of that. Once I get a little more woken up, have a rested day.